2026, it's a very, very powerful year. You had so many people talking about the year of the fire horse. The last year, 2025, was a very karmic year because it was ruled by 9, and 9 is like the end of a cycle. There's going to be a paradigm shift next year. It's going to be year of creativity, so you'll see a lot of things changing. If you go a little deeper into the Chinese system of numerology, then you have to look at the 5 elements. I changed my reality with the help of numerology. When you energetically change what vibration you have, you just attract the right energy in your life. Our numerology is not just this birth number and life path number. We also have a numerology chart. These numbers tell you so much about who you are as a person, what you attract, what you'll repel, or your life experiences. Life is divided into 3 kinds of luck: your heaven's luck, your earth luck, and your personal luck. We are creators of negative and positive energy. Numerology and all of these things that you do for luck, you're kind of swimming against the current or you're swimming with the current. We're trying to make energies work for you.
What's actually adjusting underneath once you've changed the name? When you look at the origins of the universe, creation, how it was all put together, do you think there's some sort of primacy to numerology? Do you think it was one of the fundamental things that was birthed as the universe was birthed? Or where do you think numerology originally comes from?
I think a lot of this information and a lot of different modalities and a lot of things that are not considered science, I think came from channeled information, came from channeled knowledge and wisdom that, different human beings channeled at different points. I feel that, like when we were primitive man, we didn't have a lot. We didn't have language. We didn't have astrology, numerology, and all of the different things that are there on our planet today. And I believe that human beings at different points in time channeled amazing information, like so many different spiritual masters still do. They channel a lot of wisdom, and so it's coming from a different dimension. So not sure if that answers your question, but I believe that there's an ocean of knowledge, and then there's this realm that we kind of tap into and we bring information from there. So I believe numerology was one of those.
It's interesting because there's a few different systems of numerology.
Yes.
You, I think from what I've gathered, prefer is it Chaldean? Am I saying it correctly? What
I
Chaldean
actually
astrology?
follow like a combination, because I do believe like for example, there are some things about Chaldean I do not follow at all, and then I go a little bit into the Chinese system. So I kind of through the years I've kind of looked at, because I've been doing this for a long time. I started my journey not with numerology, I must say. I started my journey with healing and then tarot, and then went on to numerology because I think I was my first testimonial, or I was my first success story. I changed my reality with the help of numerology because I was, I think, struggling personally, not so much professionally ever, but personally, I went through like some crazy struggles. And I was always trying to, like, even when I was guiding people, I was kind of looking for a lot of people would come to me, they would, follow a lot of the things that I was saying, and then they would be back in 6 months, back in 8 months. And then I was trying to find the thread. I was trying to find, where is this coming from? What makes a person go back to square one? What makes these patterns repeat? And I found those synchronicities in numbers. And that's when I started the study of numerology and said, okay, let me just observe this for a while. I didn't start practicing it because in those days you didn't have the ocean of knowledge on the internet as much. You had to like read books, and there were even when you went to teachers, not everyone's very open about teaching. So
Forthcoming, yeah.
yeah, not everyone, like even with my entire journey, I've not had very great teachers at some point because they want to teach you and then they don't want to teach you, and that's fine. That made the hunger for knowledge even more for me, so I'm grateful to them.
Well, how did numerology, I mean, you said you went through some challenges. I'm not sure if you want to open up too much about it, but how did it actually help you change your life? You said it helped you change your life.
So I was such a long story. I was in an abusive marriage. My first marriage was extremely abusive, and I always wondered why I gravitated towards that. So I even went through, I think in the year 2007, I even went through hypnotherapy from someone, and she was not very good. So she was very good at taking you into hypnosis, but after you go in there, they didn't know really what to do. So those were the early days when things were still getting developed, I think. And but because I had such a strong background in meditation, I kind of figured my own thing to do in the state of hypnosis, and I wanted to like find out the root cause of why I gravitated towards a toxic relationship or a toxic marriage. And so that was one part of like my healing journey, and you know, understanding why that was. And so I saw this pattern, like, you know, I was attracting toxic people. Friends were not like, friendships were dwindling. I lost a lot of friends. I had this overdoing tendency, which was, I know, a coping mechanism. I mean, now I kind of look at all of it like a, you know, I can study all of it like from a, you know, from a kind of zoom out and look at it from a that perspective. But at that point of time, I was too zoomed in to kind of see what was going on. And I remember, like, when I started looking at numbers, I realized that, you know, my numbers played such a huge, such a huge role in this whole journey. I am a number four, and number four people have a lot of these patterns. They overdo, so they get into people pleasing, they have abandonment wounds, they have struggle with friendships, they give. And when it comes to receiving, the receiving is kind of blocked, or, you know, they just don't receive. So there were these patterns that I struggled with emotionally, which made a lot of sense looking at my numbers. So then I started experimenting with, you know, changing the spelling of my name, and I went through a few changes. And professionally, it was great. Like, when I looked at my entire name, you know, professionally, it took me on national television in 2007. I had my own TV show on Headlines Today, which is now called India Today TV, a phenomenal news channel. So I'd relocated to Delhi for that. And you know, so numerologically, professionally, it was great. It was always great. But, you know, my name, one part of my name was extremely malefic, and that affected personal relationships. So when I changed that, it changed the way I made friends. I attracted the most amazing partner in my life. That's Vaishak. And, you know, I mean, the rest is history. It's just feels like we've been together for a million years. So, yeah.
I feel like
When
we've
you,
jumped.
I think when you energetically change what vibration you have, you just attract the right energy in your life. But I also believe that there was so many karmic lessons there. Had
Mm,
I not gone through that, I don't know if I would have, you know, kind of risen like the phoenix. You know, there was a point I was at rock bottom. I didn't have money. I didn't have child support. I didn't have money to pay my elder son's fees. I was a single mom, and, you know, I, like, every day was like, I just went from one miracle to the other, just praying, oh my God, I need money to pay his school fees. And, you know, things just showed up in my life. And I'm literally one of those, the biggest testimonials of manifestation, and of, you know, just asking the universe, I don't know how you're gonna do this, but you're gonna do this for me. And it would just show up. And I just focused on my, you know, on my spiritual journey and keeping myself mentally strong, and everything else followed. So
touch
yeah,
wood.
numerology helped me a lot.
I feel like we've jumped over a few lily pads because you started with I'm a number 4 and then
Yes.
you ended up changing your name. And it's
I
like, wait,
I
numbers, name. And then I also heard somewhere in my research for you, you're a number 9. So you're a
Yes, I
number
am a
4,
number
you're a
9 as
number
well.
9, and then your name. So I think for those that are tuning in, how do
Yes.
we discern what our numbers are? Because we have more than
Okay.
one number, first of all. Yeah. And maybe as we're listening, we can play along. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So to begin with, everyone has two numbers that predominantly rule them. You know, like two pillars that govern us. Like, you have a mom, you have a dad. So you have two numbers that rule you. One is your birth number, which is just the date, D plus D, the date that you're born. So let's say if you're born on the 14th, then you're a number 5. If you're born on the 16th, you're a number 7.
That's me.
So this the date is your birth number. That's one pillar, and that both these numbers affect lots of different things. Like, even, you know, your, like, lots of people say your birth number only affects your personality, but it honestly affects so many different things as well, not just your personality. Then there's your life path number, which is your D plus D plus M plus YYYY, like all of it added together. That's your life path number. And that is like the theme of your life, you know, like the roadmap of your life. So your life path number is very important as well. But it also gives you some of your personality traits. So both of these numbers give you, you know, tell you so much about who you are as a person, and, you know, what you attract, what you'll repel, or your life experiences.
And then the name component, the name has its
Yeah.
own
So your
number.
name also has two planets. Your first name has one component, and then your full name has another component. So your name also carries a number, a vibration, because every sound has a certain vibration. So your name also, each alphabet is kind of, connected to a certain number, and that's connected. Like when you add all of it up, then it gives you a certain sum total. So both these facets are important.
And are they
Like some
still?
numerologists in the earlier days only looked at the full name. The full name was considered the most important.
Mm.
But people are not calling us by our full name every single time. Most people are calling us by our first name, which is why that's really important. And then there's your nickname, which sometimes people call you with, like, you have a name that all of your friends call you, or, at home, that also matters. Every name carries a certain vibration. So all of these names and numbers are very important.
Are the numbers for the names also 1 to 9? Is that
Yes.
usually okay, cool.
Yeah.
What, just left field question. I've got a few friends who ended up in adulthood needing to change their name because
Actually,
they
no. The numbers for the name are not 1 to 9. They are,
mm.
I think, 1 to 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like
cool.
now we just use like a calculator. In the earlier days, I would have to sit and, like, manually. Like, I still remember I would sit with a sheet of paper and one name would take me so long. But now we have, calculators, and we have little apps that we can quickly do name correction. So it almost takes me like 3 minutes or 5 minutes to do a name correction. The earlier days, it would take me half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes for one name.
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah, so technology has made it really easy for us. You still have to do it manually, but everything is pre-filled.
Mm.
So that's what makes it easier.
What parts of your name have changed?
So my name was just Sheela, and now it's with a double A, and the M is a part of numerology. It's just random. It's a random initial, but it also is my grandfather's name, like an alphabet from his name.
Mm.
So I just, when people ask me, I say, yeah, it's my grandfather's name, like
Yeah,
Sheelaa
right.
M Bajaj. The M is him.
It's a moniker paying back to that. And
Yeah.
you've, to your point, once you substituted in an A and an M, numerologically, that adjusted things. How did that adjust things in your energy field, or how do you see this?
Oh
Because
my
you're so
God.
deep
Yeah, because
into healing and hypnotherapy and so many modalities. Is it what's actually adjusting underneath once you've changed the name?
it's basically you're aligning yourself to that particular planetary energy. And it's
Planetary
it's
energy.
yes, planetary energy. So what happens is, like, I give people this example. Like, if you have something rotten on your head, you're gonna attract flies. And if you have honey on your head, you're gonna attract bees and butterflies, right? So your name and your date of birth are nothing but a frequency. They are a frequency that's connected to a certain type of energy. So let's say if you're smelling of alcohol, you're going to attract some attention, which is going to be a different kind of attention. If you're reeking of alcohol, like let's say you just took some alcohol and you poured it on yourself, you're going to attract a specific kind of attention. But let's say if you have perfume, you're going to attract different kind of attention. If you have essential oils on you, you're going to attract different kinds of attention, right? And some can be better, some can be interesting, some can be adventurous, and some can be negative. It just depends on what you've actually put on yourself. So similarly, when you align when your date, basically we are all ruled by these two planets in our date of birth, but we're also ruled by certain, like, our numerology is not just this birth number and life path number. We also have a numerology chart that, we map out your date of birth to. So I look at all of that, and then I go a little deeper and I look at also your five elements. So earth, fire, water, wood, metal. So then, when something is missing in your energy, all I tell a person to do is, hey, you have a wood element missing in your energy, so just wear some wood, and suddenly things start moving forward for that person. Or like a person's wealth element, like my wealth element is red. So, when I wear red, it activates my money element or my, wealth element. Like, so if I'm going for a very important meeting where there's going to be money conversations, then I wear red. And it doesn't have to be red that's, visible. It could be discreet. Sometimes, like, let's say if a certain element is important for you, like metal, then you just wear something metallic. Like for me, the element that feeds me is metal. So I always wear these tensor rings. Can you see them? Yeah. So I always wear these tensor rings because they're really good for health, and they also like metal element always gives me more energy. It feeds my element.
It's interesting that you say the word feeds because my background was studying some of the Vedic astrology stuff. You're usually trying to balance things out.
Mhm.
But this is actually, you use the word feed as in like it actually draws energy in.
Yes, it contributes. So, like if you go a little deeper into the Chinese system of numerology, then you have to look at the five elements, not just the numbers. So when you look at that, there are the five elements: fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. So there's a productive cycle, there's a destructive cycle, and then there's an exhaustive cycle. This is a little technical. It's feeling more like a class right now.
At this particular moment, I mean, I wanted to tune in because it also then numerology applies to, there's numbers for the individual, but there's also numbers for, I mean, the year as well. So
Yes.
what initially drew me in to wanting to understand and connect with you was I know that 2026 is a 1 year because 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, and then 10 ones and zeros sort of wind back to 1 from what I've gathered. What is a 1 year? And so every 9 years, there are these 9-year cycles. Is that what's implied basically?
Yes.
Because you can't get back up to 10, you've got to come back to 1. So
Yes.
9 seems to have some significance in numerology. With that in light, I'm probably talking more than I should. Can you tell me more about what it means to be in a 1 year and what you see is happening this year?
Okay. So in the beginning of 2026, you had so many people on Instagram. I don't know if it's something you saw. You saw a lot of people talking about the year of the fire horse, or the year of the snake is shedding its skin, and then the year of the fire horse is beginning, but not many people really know what that means. But it's very very connected to this is basically a part of the Chinese system. So every February, this the thing changes, the cycle changes. Now the year of number one and the year of the fire horse are both very important. You got to have both this information, which is very important. Now the year of number one is ruled by the sun. Okay, so you have like nine different energies, nine different planets, right? The sun and moon is also considered a planet in numerology.
Sure.
So your number one is considered to be the year of the sun,
Mm.
or number one represents sun. And even if a person is a number one, they are ruled by the sun. So this year is all about new beginnings, leadership, growth, about recognition, fame, um, getting accolades, like beginning something new. So it's a very, very powerful year. Like the last year, 2025, was a very karmic year because it was ruled by nine, and nine is like the end of a cycle. It's, when you finish up old transactions, when you're winding up something, when you're completing something. It's like, a lot of relationships went crazy in that year. A lot of breakups happened. Lots of people, you know, lost certain things. They lost money, they lost friends, they lost relationships. Lots of things kind of surfaced as well. Sometimes karmic relationships or karmic lessons kind of surface in a number 9 year. But in a number 1 year, it's kind of starting afresh. It's like the new year, the new era of your life, a new beginning, a new period in your life. So this is the year for new beginnings, to sum it up. That's a very powerful part. And because it's the year of the fire horse, it's also a very fiery year. And that's why this year has been fiery of all sorts, from wars to God knows what not. It's just been because the year of, usually the energy of a nine is very fiery in some way because it's ruled by Mars. But because this year is a number one ruled by Sun, again, a very high fire element. And if you look at the fire horse, it's also a year with a lot of like momentum, fire, anger, things burning. It's just, like war, destruction, things falling apart in some sort. If Because there's probably too much fire. So, which is, like the combined energies of number one and the fire horse has also made this year a little turbulent for people.
What's the number 2? Is it gonna cool down next year or
Yes. Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
speaking from the blazing of the furnace as we're in the middle of 2026. But yeah,
Yeah.
what's the 2?
Yeah. And the number 2 year is going to be a little more, is going to be a much cooler, more grounded. It will be a softer year because ruled by the moon. Uh, when you're ruled by the moon, it's going to be a year of creative growth, intuition, spiritual learning. The moon also represents a lot of ups and downs. So people are going to be finding themselves. It's like going deeper, lots of spiritual learning lessons, lots of spiritual learning itself. Like a lot of people are going to find their purpose in life. It's going to be year of creativity, so you'll see a lot of things changing in the media, on social media, in the creative space, whether it's music, movies, OTT. There's going to be a lot of change in the world creatively. There's going to be a paradigm shift next year. Yeah.
And yeah, is it the goat that comes up next year? Because that's a very different energy to a fire horse. I was like,
I do use a lot of the Chinese system because I studied feng shui as well.
mm,
And I did my study in so many different modalities, Amrit, is because as a human being, we are like a jigsaw puzzle.
mm.
We are not like a lot of numerologists that I know of don't focus on your energy. They don't focus on your chakras, your personal energy. They don't focus on your mental faculty, your mind, your belief systems, your trauma, the open tabs that you leave in your childhood open, the disconnects that you have. They don't talk about the planetary positions that your astrology affects is affecting you with. So a lot, or your earth luck. So when I studied feng shui, one of the things that I learned was life is divided into three kinds of luck: your heaven's luck, your earth luck, and your personal luck. So each one of these domains are about 33% of your life's luck. And honestly, there might be a few more facets as well. Like someone may come and say, "Hey, but this also matters," and I'll probably either put them in one of these categories or create a new one. So we are complex. We are very complex beings. We have these different domains. So, like for example, a person comes struggling with something. The root cause could be five different things. But if I'm trained only in, let's say, numerology, I'm only going to look at their numbers. So, which is why even if you don't practice all of this, like a doctor who studies about the entire human body and then does their specialization in one area, they don't only study about the ears, nose, and throat, or only study about bones without like leaving the entire body. They have to be a full doctor first, and then they can do a super specialization in something. So I believe that it's very important to understand how other modalities and other you know whether you call them a science or not so much a science, how each one of these areas are influencing you as a human being.
Hey there, Inspired Souls. I wanted to take a moment and thank all of you that are subscribed to this podcast. Everything you see around here, like I like to say, touch wood, is powered and empowered by your subscription to this podcast. It costs you nothing. It's completely free. There's a button down below. It lights up in the colors of the Inspired Evolution when I say the word subscribe. And if you can hit that button, hit that bell notification icon, it's completely free. It gives you the opportunity to support the channel so guests like this can come on and share their insights, share their wisdom. Every week we do 2 episodes a week. And once a month we actually gather with the guests inside the Inspired Evolution Community Circle. Here, if you start to fall in love with the content, just know that's the space for connection around the content. It's the Inspired Evolution Community Circle. We affectionately call it the Circle. The center's empty. It's not about Amrit. I'm just one of us. And once a month we get together and we run kind of like a podcast where you guys ask the questions of the guests when they come on. We also gather once a week. I guide meditations. There's community sharing circles. If there's astrological updates, there's breath work, there's a bit of yoga, there's all sorts of cool stuff happening inside there, and lots of people meeting people in person as well. We've done our best to make several live, interactive, connection oriented, so it's less there is text-based connection, absolutely, but it's this opportunity to really connect, especially as we move into this Aquarian age. Yeah, we're going to need Aquarius rules community. We're going to need more community. It's about the I and the we. Pisces had the fish schools of thought. This is all shifting under our feet right now. So as we're looking for tribe and connection, Inspired Evolution Community Circle, come on in, give it a whirl, and just see if it's for you. And it really supports the channel as well. So thank you so much for all of you that are part of the community and supporting the channel and this work, doing the things that it's doing in the world. Really, really, really sincerely appreciate you all. And we'd love to welcome those of you that are inspired to evolve on the inside. And I'm mentioning that as well because today's episode goes super deep, and it's conversations like this that we're having inside the circle amongst a community of peers. So if that sounds inspiring to you, do check us out, inspiredevolution.com/circle. which luck is numerology and adjusting your name kind of working with there? Is it your earth luck or is it your personal luck? Or is it can't be your heaven luck, surely? I mean, yeah.
I love that question. Okay, so a part of your numerology is your heaven's luck because you're born with this date of birth. So your birth number, life path number is
Right.
part of your heaven's luck.
Yeah.
Now, your heaven's luck is your planets ruling you in your astrology, your planetary positions when you're born, your karma, your Akashic records. A lot of that is a part of your heaven's luck. So your numerology comes from that as well, something that you can't change. I can't change my date of birth. I am a number four. I'm always going to be a number four. If I don't want to be a number four, I'll have to die and be born again. That's not happening, right? It'll be a different lifetime.
Well, not in
Can't do
this
that.
lifetime. So
Yeah, not in this lifetime.
yeah.
Exactly. So, which is why, so then there's your name, and your name carries a vibration as well because of the sound and because of the thing. So your name carries a vibration. So that's a part of your personal luck because that's your personal energy. And
Right.
people know us by our name. No one
Mm,
calls us by our date of birth. I call you
true.
Amrit,
Yeah.
right?
Of course.
Yeah. So
Of course.
a name carries a frequency and a vibration too. And there are two aspects to the name as well, the meaning of the name and the vibrational, the numerology vibration of the name. So if the name doesn't mean something, that's okay. As long as it doesn't mean anything, but it shouldn't mean something negative. And then there's a second part, which is the energy of the name, which is the numerology of the name. So that's why, even though I don't have two great numbers, I'm a 4 and 9 combination, my birth numbers are number 4, and my life path numbers are number 9. I don't have very great numbers. One is so karmic, and one just makes me give, and not so much receive. um, I made my name so super strong. It's a it's I don't know too much about aircraft engines, but it's that kind of an engine. It's a
The
747 engine. You know,
Rolls Royce of engines.
yeah. So I like saying that about Rolls Royce, but I think the one I chose is like a little higher than that. It's like
Oh,
it's higher than a Rolls Royce. It's like it's meant to make me fly, like catapult to the next
like a
level.
Koenigsegg or something. I don't even. Wow, incredible. And so, what I'm hearing from you as well is because that's your personal luck. I mean, it's probably what you was most workable with, given the circumstances as well. Which is interesting that I use the word circumstances because that sounds very fated in some ways. I mean, this was always going to come up in some point with a conversation with you, was it not? Your take on fate and free will, like how much of this numerology is set in stone, or versus is it just an energetic that guides us, or how do you? Yeah.
We are. I mean, I don't believe any one thing because I believe we are a combination of everything. We do have these pivoting points and these points in our life that are connected to destiny, that take us to certain things, but our free will is very important. Our belief system, our choices, what we think, feel, believe, we create we create our reality every moment with our mindset, with our energy. We are creators of negative and positive energy. you know like people sometimes talk about, oh, I went to this place and the place was so negative. I mean, it's not just, or oh my god, my house has become so negative, or this place is so negative. It's because you're creating that. You get angry, you get upset, you may have a fight, you may just be, you know, uh, overthinking, or just thinking, tripping yourself into like negative thoughts. So this going to happen, or fear, whatever that looks like. And you could be creating that energy in your space. So we are creators of negative and positive energy. We make bad choices, and sometimes we make good choices, and we get to create the roadmap of our life. And some things are, there are some pillars that like some levels that we end up getting to, or there are some pivoting points in our life. For example, when you look at your astrology, or even in numerology, there are some things that your chart will tell you, that you're good at this, you're not good at this, or this is your strength, this is your weakness. But I've also seen people who have worked on certain attributes in themselves, knowing that they're not very good at something, or knowing that they have a certain energy, and then they've overcome it. So free will is a very important facet, and that's one of the reasons that took me to hypnotherapy, because I started my journey as a teenager in healing, and even till today I see people who have gone through intensive healing, and then sometimes they snap back to their old ways or their old patterns and energy, because it's like two devices. You have, let's say, a Mac, like a laptop, and then you have, like, let's say, an iPhone,
Mm.
and both of them are on the same iCloud. But you got to sync your devices. If you've made some changes on one picture in your phone and you want it to reflect in your laptop, then
Mm.
you got to sync those two devices, and your mind and your soul are just like that. So healers only focus on healing, and they forget that your mind, your belief systems, your patterns, your coping mechanisms, all of that is also running the show. And so you got to, like, sync those two devices. Whatever healing is happening energetically, heal your mind as well. Heal the trauma, heal your inner child, heal, all of those different areas, in your life. And then you will notice that healing is like energy healing or hypnotherapy. Like, lots of times hypnotherapy, people focus so much on the mind, or they go to therapy, but they're not working on their energy body. So, there's always like that seesaw effect. They're still sitting with this dense cloud over their shoulders, because they've released it mentally, but they haven't energetically let it go.
It seems like when you're talking about an energy body, I think most people have an understanding of hypnotherapy in mind. When you're talking about an energy body, like it's a very palpable sort of experience for you. Can you describe what you're talking about when you're talking about energy body?
Okay. So, like, you have this physical body, we are beyond this physical body. We also have an energy body that's made up of chakras. You have an aura. And that's why, even if your eyes are closed and let's say someone walks into a room, you can feel them. You can sometimes feel their energy. Sometimes you may think of someone and they may call you. That's because you're kind of connecting on a different, on an energetic plane. Or let's say, someone who's very, very creepy, right? Like, women have this as a gift. I think it's just, we just got really lucky, this instinct. But there are lots of times when people will come and hug you or touch you, and you just don't feel right. Or sometimes you're just standing next to you and you just don't feel good. You just feel like sometimes creeped out, or you just feel weird. Or let's say you had a conversation with someone and they came and told you a whole lot of they did like a trauma dump on you, or told you something about, or just very negative. And after the entire conversation, you just feel like, oh my God, like a truck has hit me and gone. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than yeah, more than once. Touch wood.
Yeah, it happens all the time to me. And that is energy. That's energy in the real world. You go to a spiritual place and you just feel bliss. You feel like, oh my God, I've just filled my cup. You go for a holiday, you go into nature, you go to Bali, you go to Australia. I mean, I've come to Australia a couple of times.
Mm.
And I just love, like, it, you just feel like you're just soaking in all of the life force energy, the prana or the chi energy there. Like, just last month, I was in the US for my son's graduation, and the place that we were staying was just overlooking the woods. So I would just get out onto the porch, and there was just woods and woods and woods and trees. And I was like, oh my God, where am I? I'm in Jannat. Like, I'm in heaven right now. I was just breathing. I was just like, oh my God, I could just breathe. I'm filling my cup. And then, the energy of Bangalore is very exhausting. A lot of the cities in India, the energy is very exhausting because, one, your space, you also got to look at how much EMF radiation is happening. EMF plays a very big role in energy of a space. And, the lack of trees, a lot of construction, cell phone towers, like, what is your city made up of? So when you go into a space, like, someone who's a little sensitive will either feel like a truck hit them and went. Like, for me, I recharge in a place of nature. Like, for me, my kind of holiday is a place where there's lots and lots of plants and green. And so that is life force energy and prana that, I just kind of feed off, because that's me filling my cup. Because I channel a lot of energy outward, right? When I do sessions for people, at the end of the session, like my energy is always like at 100%. Like, for 3 hours, 4 hours, my energy is like, people ask me, how do you do that? But my energy is at that level. And because I'm dealing with people's energy, their negativity, them releasing a lot of trauma, pain, tears, like they're sobbing. After the session, I'm at zero. I go straight from 100 to a zero.
Very interesting. I want to bring us
Yeah.
back to the year 2026? Because it also seems like everybody has a personal year number. Is that correct?
Mhm.
And that not
Yes.
everybody's going to be facing 2026 the same way and 2027
Yes.
the same way. So you
Absolutely.
mentioned our numbers. Is a personal year number calculated the same way or is it different? What's a personal year?
Okay, so there are different calculations that and different systems that everyone follows. Um, I think we should first talk about what each number, like what their personality or what the theme of their life is like,
Please,
before we get into, you know, something connected to a personal year or whatever.
please.
Let's look at a different angle. Now, for example, someone who's, let's say, a birth number one, okay, which means that if you're born on the 1st, on the 10th, on the 19th, or 28th, you're a number one. And being a number one, that person has qualities of the sun because you're ruled by the sun. So a person essentially who's a number one has that magnetic energy. They just shine, they give light to other people, they lift
Charismatic. Yeah.
charisma, they have, they also have that radiance. They're very visible. They, whatever they take up, they excel in it. They are, extremely, like, they just have that energy of being the best at whatever they do, whatever they choose. They inspire a lot of people, they energize a lot of people. They have a strong um, energy to lift things up that are dead. So, like, let's say, and they find their own path. They're very assertive. They have leadership qualities. They are born leaders. They're meant to do something on their own. They are not very good at following people's instructions, or they're not very good at working in a team. They like to head things, like, I'm the big boss and I know what I need to do. So number ones are, very assertive. They know what they want. My younger one is a number one, and oh my god, that boy really knows what he wants. But sometimes, when we look at, like, the chart of the person, if they have too much sun energy in their chart, then they could also go the other way. There are some negative sides to someone having too much sun in their chart. So that means they could also be a little stubborn. They don't want to receive help. They don't like suggestions from other people. They could be, very individualistic to a level that they don't take feedback very well. So even when it comes to growth, they kind of a little blocked because they feel they know it all. But usually a number one's got their energy in the right place. They know how to, they're very good mentors. So when someone needs mentoring, or when they want, advice, they should go to a number one. The number one is always going to show them the light, show them the path, give them the roadmap. And my younger one is exactly like that. He is, I don't know if you understand Hindi, he's an ustad.
Yeah, I do understand who Hindi and
Yeah, he's an
Ustad is.
ustad. He's amazing. Like, he has a mind of his own, and he's usually the tech guy. But I was using my elder son's laptop, so I was like, okay, now he's gonna help me today. But usually, like, my younger one's always like fixing all of my tech problems, and he's amazing. He started giving me business advice when he was 6 years old. 6 years old. I still have videos of him giving me business strategy. Like, this is what you need to do. No, you don't do this. You don't mix this and this. Like, oh my God, he's got his head in the right place.
Number ones.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. Number twos?
Then there's number two. They're ruled by the moon. So they're very
Mm.
sensitive. They're very emotional. Shah Rukh Khan is a number two. They have this, they're like rubber bands. They can stretch themselves from being this end to that end. Like, the moon is not the same on any 2 days. So they are, one, very volatile. They can, they're very moody as well. They're very sensitive. They can get hurt, they can get affected very easily. They also have a tendency to absorb psychic attack, negative energy, other people's. They're very empathetic as well. So they, if someone's telling them something, they just pull all of that into their own body. So number two person usually needs to have boundaries, and not like, they need to keep a check on their empathy, because that hurts them. And then they start having health problems, or they start having more fluctuations, because their energy is like sponge. It's like spongy. It's like tissue paper. It's very, very thin. So they got to protect their aura. They got to do something to shield themselves. And also, they're very creative. They're very nurturing. They have a very soft energy. So they're extremely creative. So their creativity goes from one end to the other end. It's like like, just like a rubber band. So yeah, and that's why, for people who are in any creative field, if they're a number two, they will excel at it, because they're able to, they have this unlimited creative life force energy flowing through them, because they're ruled by the moon.
Coming from the moon.
They're always, always, like it's like a button. You just got to switch it on and then creativity flows through them. So they always should find themselves, even if they are in a, let's say, a hardcore left brain job, they should kind of be in a role that requires their creativity.
Right.
And they make very good parents. They're very nurturing, and they're very good at mentoring, counseling, and finding a solution to your problem. So if ever someone's stuck with something, they should go and ask a number two, and then a two will always give them, guidance or a answer to their problem or a solution, which comes from intuition, which comes from a deeper level,
Mm.
something that other people can't see.
Yeah, sounds a bit psychic. Yeah,
Yeah, psychic, and they're also very good like therapists. They make very good therapists.
got it.
Not sure how that's good for them, because they absorb all that bad energy from everyone, and that is psychic garbage, which they need to take care of their aura, have a salt bath every day, get do something to remove their nazar or their psychic garbage. So they need a healer for sure, because they are the healer, and every healer needs a healer.
Noted. Yeah. Number 3.
Number three. Now, number three is ruled by Jupiter. I love this number because
What's not to love? Jupiter's always loved. Jupiter has
yeah,
the
Jupiter is
best
always
job in
loved.
the sky, does it not? In some ways.
Yeah, because that's like the luckiest, the big boss of all the planets. They're at that number one spot because they are the guide. The number three is like the guide, the wisdom keeper. They have full gyan in them, but the one thing that lacks in them is that action is very less. They need to have stronger planets in their chart to be more action oriented. Otherwise, they're just going to be preachers. They're going to be teachers, preachers. They will tell everyone how to live their life, and they're amazing at that. My elder son is a number three, and so whenever again I'm stuck with a problem, he's always going to zoom out and he looks at the entire thing. And sometimes I tell him, this is too much. This is too heavy. Like, just, like, tell me in simpler language, or like, water it down or chew it. Like, I need someone to like chew it down a little bit. Um, Listening to a number three in perimenopause isn't fun because it's too much gyan. It's too much wisdom, which is difficult to fathom. I mean, I yeah, because of all the brain fog, right? I'm just like, Shian, just simplify this a little bit for me. And he's 22. So yeah, number threes are another level. They are so good at teaching, mentoring, problem solving, giving advice, consulting. Whenever when anyone is stuck with a certain issue, they should just ask a number three. The perspective they get is going to be like a 360-degree. There's going to be a lot of wisdom there. You're going to find your learning lessons there. You're going to find so much depth there. It's going to be like a full on life lesson therapy everything session. So number threes have that amazing gift of wisdom and knowledge. So they also make very good teachers. That's their strength.
Love
And they're
that.
very nice, happy, cheerful people. They're also essentially givers. The flow of energy in a number three is always, they get it from above and they give. So they don't necessarily receive back, but they don't care because their energy is wired in a way that they are meant to channel energy to people at large. They're meant for a higher purpose. So you'll always find a number three always giving gyan. Always.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
But
mm.
action is one of the things that they need to usually focus on. They need
Bit
to
more
kind of
drive.
discipline and follow through, because you're still living in the 3D reality, right? You're still living in the 3D world. You got to like, get up, get things done. You got to follow through. They're very good at advice, but following some of the stuff may not be.
Make stuff happen.
But they're
Yeah.
also very lucky. They also attract lots of good things in life, support, you know, random people coming and helping them out, giving them certain things. They're always provided for. Like the universe always provides for them. Now, a lot of times what happens is when people can't relate to any of the numbers that I'm talking about, it's usually there's some kind of a pitfall somewhere. There's some planet draining their energy out. For example, let's say a number three person who's listening to this and is like, oh my god, I can't relate to this one bit. This sounds so absurd. It's not me at all. It's probably because of a malefic name. It's probably because of the other, like, birth number or life path number that's paired with their number three is probably malefic. It's probably unlucky, like a number four or an eight or a seven or a nine. They've got some other planet that's draining their energy out.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's probably not just number threes, as whatever numbers, they're not feeling true to their nature. That's because there's something
Yeah,
going
because
on
there
underneath
are
them.
other influences as well.
Mm,
So every person, like every number three will, if they don't relate to it, they got to go deeper and get it analyzed as to why am I not able to relate to this?
mm.
Because the majority of people who, go through an analysis, they're like, yeah, I can relate to this, I can relate to this. If your numbers were all balanced, then you would be able to relate to everything that's there in your chart and in your birth number and life path number.
Noted.
Yeah.
We're coming up on your number 4.
Number
This is
four,
you.
my number.
Tell us about
Yeah.
you.
Yes. So number four people, let me start with the negative traits of number four. They generally are overdoers, overgivers. They tend to be people pleasers. They always have abandonment wounds. If you look at a number four, they're always trying to do something to help someone out, give, do, and they're always getting a nice kick up their butt all the time. Like every number four is always going to relate to this. They did so much for a friend and then they got betrayed, or they did this and then they got abandoned. So every number four has a weird karmic life lesson with relationships. They also have a lot of abandonment wounds. So they need a lot more help to kind of, feed them as an individual. Like they need therapy, they need hypnotherapy, they need to learn how to draw boundaries. They need to prioritize themselves. There's a lot of life lessons a number four needs to learn with regard to honoring themselves, um, not overdoing, drawing their boundaries, things like that. So, and number fours are not very lucky when it comes to anything speculative. They have to, like, luck is not generally on their side. So they should not get into like betting or, gambling or getting into a legal case thinking that I'm on the right side, I'm going to win. That's not happening, because something will happen and it won't be in your favor. So number fours should keep that in mind, that anything speculative, anything that you leave at chance, not in your favor. So it's better to step down when you know that you're getting into some kind of a chance game.
Hey there, inspired souls. Today's conversation's been an absolute, oh my God, so grateful. Now, if you want support in reading your own chart, understand yourself better through the lens of astrology, or even have a look at what's coming up at this time for you, or both, you can book in a reading with myself, amritsandhu.com/reading, amritsandhu.com/reading. Touch wood, it'd be my absolute honor and pleasure to support you with that awareness at this time, if you feel the call. Bit more of the cold, hard facts.
Yes. And but the good thing for a number four is their mind is their asset. Their strategy, their thinking, their like their mind works like problem solving, creative ideas. Their brain is their asset, and they constantly need intellectual stimulation. Constantly, they get bored very easily. They constantly need some kind of stimulation. Even in relationships, they need intellectual stimulation, otherwise they get really bored. Lots of number fours need something to learn constantly. Like their mind needs to be fed knowledge every now and then. If they don't get knowledge from something that whether they're meeting people or in their job, even their job needs to be very stimulating mentally or intellectually. They're gonna get their fix from somewhere. So they're like, intellectual stimulation junkies, for the lack of a better word.
What's the new thing that you're learning at the moment?
Acupuncture. Oh, wow.
Amongst all the other things.
Yeah, because acupuncture really worked for me. I don't intend on practicing it ever. Like, not one bit. Like, that's not what I'm going to do.
But
But
you're a number
I
4,
do
so
have
you've got
this,
to so you've got to
I
go.
do have this urge to, like, poke people with needles, like, I love that. I love,
Hope your
yeah,
sons aren't
because,
listening.
sorry,
Hope your sons aren't listening.
yeah, they won't let me touch them. Because in my process of learning, so I was learning like bloodletting and stuff. So I was like, come. My younger one is like, you are not touching me. So yeah, no, that's not happening. I don't intend on practicing, but I'm just very intrigued because it cured
Mm.
my insomnia. I had
Mm.
insomnia for a while, and I did find some relief with hypnotherapy.
Mm.
And then acupuncture like nailed it. Like in 9 days, my entire insomnia was gone. And that was beyond magical because for 6 years I grappled with insomnia. So yeah, I'm studying acupuncture. It's very strange you asked what am I studying.
Well, you said number 4s love to be mentally stimulated and they're always learning something new. So I thought I'd ask you what you're learning. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
what do
and
you go?
that's probably the reason that every year I want to learn something new.
Mm,
Every year there's like, okay, I want to learn this. I want to learn, and I don't necessarily like, practice that wholeheartedly or completely, but I do have, then I end up integrating. If I really like what I've studied, then I find someone who's really good at that, and then I have them on my team. And when I know that a person who approaches my center says, okay, you know what, I need this help. Like for example, I also studied shamanic healing, I studied akashic healing. So I don't do these sessions myself, but I have someone on my team who does akashic healing, and it's brilliant because I learned the whole thing myself. I know how it works. I know, like, sometimes a lot of these modalities are not, it's like the emperor's new clothes. Like, you know that example?
yeah,
Like the
it
emperor's
looks
new
shiny
clothes.
from the
Like
outside, but then
like
when you
you
look
kind of
inside, it's
feel like,
actually not what you thought it was.
yeah, and it's not, there's nothing in it. Like it's a lot of there's no substance in it. Like a lot of things that I've sometimes learned, I felt like, what was this? Like I don't resonate with it one bit, or it's not effective, or maybe it's a little bit, it's too much, or it's just make believe, like everyone's just following it because I don't
It's
know,
the
like
status quo. It's the status
yeah.
quo. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I study everything to know the depths of what it can do. And then I find someone who's really good at it, and they offer it for my center, which is House of Sheelaa, where I have, practitioners who I have trained and mentored, and they join my team. And then I tell them, okay, this is a very good modality. This is a good teacher. Go learn it from her. Or I find someone who's really good in something, and then I bring them in onto my team, and they start practicing it. I have a very small team. Over the years I've actually made my team smaller, but that's only because otherwise sometimes I feel like the essence is a little diluted. But I keep like only the best from all of my students. I also teach a bunch of things. I only keep the cream of of all of the students. Yeah, I cherry pick them.
You've given us so far, you've told us what to go to a number 1 for, number 2 for, number 3 for. What do you
What do
go
you
to a
go to
number
number
4
four
for?
for? Ideas, for problem solving, like a strategy.
Mm,
Um, my husband's also a number four. I'm a number four. He's very cerebral, intelligent. I'm very like practical, street smart. So both of us have a different type of mind and intelligence, and both of us together are just a house on fire. So yeah, when it comes to business strategy, when it comes to like fixing a problem, both of us put our heads together, and for sure we found like the best idea ever. So number four is very good at like also like kind of like creativity, but also practical, very lateral thinking. Like they just have a very different kind of mind. It's not coming only from a place of wisdom, but their ability to, like, their problem solving ability is another level. So having a number four is always good, but they're always going to be struggling emotionally at some point, because um, number fours just have that tendency to not believe in themselves. So they don't have that confidence, so they tend to overdo it. And so a lot of times their brilliance is not received most times.
right.
That's a little bit of an issue. Yeah.
Number 5s? And just before you dive into number 5, so far it seems like the odd numbers are a bit more masculine, the even numbers are a bit more feminine. Is that the case, or am I just it's just how it's going?
No, I think no. This
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I don't think there's a, because I've seen um yeah, I think the odd numbers, maybe the odd numbers are a lot more yang, yeah, a little more masculine. If you go to see, no, but the number seven is not. So no, maybe the first three
Okay,
it
so far
applies.
so
Yeah,
far it
so
has
far.
been the case, but the keep listening,
Yeah,
Amrit, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, number 5, tell us, please.
Yeah, so number fives are ruled by Mercury. So, like the number four is ruled by Rahu. So, number five is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication, again, intelligence, and intellectual development, communication. Very important. Like these people are also very individualistic. They are like, they're ruled by the energy of like the Pope in the church. It's like there's one Pope in the church and there can be no other. So, they have this individualistic personality that they like to work alone. They make really good CEOs, heads of company. They don't work in teams very well. And they have a peculiar mindset about how they want to do things. They have their own little apna dimag. Like they have a very unconventional way sometimes to deal with something, and it only works for them. And they like nitpicking and micromanaging everyone else, whilst they don't like receiving that same energy from anyone. So number fives can be a little dominating. They can be difficult to deal with, but also very lucky. Like they will always land on their feet, and they always like they hold like the pillar of wealth with them. So a number five will always somehow land on their feet, and they'll always find themselves at the center of something which gets them money. So whether it's hard work, smart work, or it is, figuring out something or cracking a deal, somehow they will make their money. They have the gift of money, and they have one of the highest chances of having a Rajyog. Now, when you look at your numerology chart, there are also two kind of yogs that you can see, and one of them do two of them, both these yogs, one of them is called the Uparjit Raj Yog, or the kind of yog that the money that comes from hard work, smart work, strategy, sowing the right seeds, making the right connections. And the second kind of Raj Yog, so basically what you do in your life, the second kind of Raj Yog is the karmic, ancestral, or property Raj Yog, the kind of wealth that comes from your past life. Like let's say people who say that, I have so many money problems because I have bad karma, but you could also have lots of good money karma from a previous lifetime. And so when that is present in your chart, you kind of receive ancestral money, ancestral wealth. Or let's say if you just have lots of money written in your karmic account, you will somehow get it from somewhere. Again, you
Totally.
may you may get a jackpot, you may do a crazy business deal, and it will come from somewhere. And you also have the yoke to own a lot of property. And it's very difficult, honestly, for people to have both these Raj Yogs. It's like yesterday I had a client, a consult, and this kid, this was like after I don't know how many months, I saw this one kid who had a perfect chart, both Raj Yogs, amazing. And this kid at the age of 11 is, already selling her art and her stuff, and she's already making money, and she's like started her own little mini business. I'm like, wow, this is insane. Like, she's 11 years old. I was blown away. And I looked at that chart and I was like, wow, I love numerology because I'm telling the mother, she's got both her like Rajyog, she's sorted money wise, wealth wise. She's like, yeah, she's 11, she's sorted.
Yeah,
I
wow.
was shocked. I was like, yeah, this is the exact thing. Like it shows me, that this also reinforces, because a lot of people sometimes they have something, they have, let's say, the Rajyog in their chart, but
Mm.
they haven't put in the effort, they haven't done the work. And I tell people, just having a good yog is not going to bring you money. Like we can, in our center, we tell people, you can activate both your Rajyogs. We give them certain methods to like activate their Rajyog. I tell them that just by activating it, it's not going to suddenly magically, it's not like a Harry Potter wand. It's making the soil fertile. It's making the soil so yummy and fertile that when you sow the right seeds,
Things will
it,
then
it
grow.
will germinate and it will turn into a phenomenal fruit.
Mm.
Now, I'm going to do some personal disclosure. I have both my Rajyogs activated. Things that I do always flourish. But a couple of months back, there was an idea that I had, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I put a lot of energy into it. And then it kind of grew to a point, and then it plateaued. It kind of got stuck. So it doesn't mean that everything that you do is going to be great. It was a lousy seed. I did sow a lousy seed. It was a stupid seed that I was sowing. I mean,
Mm.
it didn't have potential. How is
Totally.
it going to turn into a tree? It's grew into a germinate, and then it was like, okay, mera ho gaya. I'm done.
Right.
So
Right.
your seed, your strategy, your business idea, whatever you're sowing has to be phenomenal. So even by just doing a name correction on numerology, or activating your Rajyog, your double Rajyog, whatever you're doing, you could even activate, like, your earth luck, which is your feng shui and your vastu, and you could activate the sectors that bring in an avalanche of money, or activate gains and profit, activate opportunities, activate fame and recognition, activate liquidity of money, or relationships, whatever you want to activate, right? And you could activate all of that, but if you don't sow the right seeds and you don't really think about the right timing, like for example, the soil is fertile, the seed is great, but it's not the right time to sow the seed because it's gonna rain or it's too much humidity, your seed is gonna die. Or let's say the seed is not supposed to be sown when I'm talking agriculture now, but I'm just trying to give an example.
Yep.
Let's say it's too hot and then you sow the seed, your seed is gone. It's dried up before it even germinates, right?
Mm.
So people have to understand that numerology and all of these things that you do for luck creates like you're kind of swimming against the current or you're swimming with the current. We're trying to make energies work for you. We are not doing the work for you. I can't come and make someone's restaurant successful. You still got to do the work. Your food has to be great. Your business idea has to be great. Like there's a client who's got some business and was doing really well and keeps doing certain things and nothing's working. It doesn't matter where she's going to go. She's going to go from one person, which is actually what she's doing. She's going to go from one energy practitioner to another trying to fix this, but that business is already dead. It's dead. Its lifetime is over. You can't revive it with good numerology. You can't revive it with anything. Like that time is over. Does that make sense? So numerology and feng shui or vastu, whatever we do, even akashic, it cannot revive something that basically is not going to work. If you're already doing something that's good or you're sowing the right seed, numerology and all of these different things that we help people with gives you that tailwind, gives you like that little nudge, and you just feel like, I'm sailing with it and it becomes so easy, you're flowing with the current.
Flowing with the current. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. So fives have strong Raj yogs, and what do you go to number fives for? Do you go to
Five
them?
don't have a strong Rajyog, but they have the highest potential of having a Rajyog.
Ah, interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but
To
we
have
still need to
activated.
study a person's chart to see what's happening, what's missing, what's too much. And but they are at the center of like wealth. So they have
Mm.
the highest potential of magnetically receiving wealth.
And what do you
They
go
just
to
need to
them?
fix a few pieces in their. I mean, it's obviously custom made for everyone's date of birth is different.
Mm.
Everyone's birth number and life path number is different. For example, you are a 7 and 6 combination. I did take a peek on your date of birth, and you're a 7 and 6 combination,
Mm.
but your numerology chart is going to be completely different from someone else who's a 7 and 6. Now, I'm a number 4 and 9. My
Oh,
chart is going to be completely different from someone else who's a 4 and 9.
right. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
So which is why at the superficial level, you look at the birth number and the life path number, then you go deeper. Then you look at the numerology chart. Then you look at the elements and you fix that. Then you go to the earth luck and then you fix that. And
Oh,
that's when the whole thing is complete. And then with all of this, a person is like they have childhood trauma and they are kind of just going into a loop. Then you need hypnotherapy to literally to heal the fact that their older self or their wounded self is kind of tugging at them. Like whenever you have trauma, the people think there's no connection between their trauma and their success in life. It's very connected.
mm,
Your trauma is the past version of you, and your success or where you want to go is the future version of you. And here, this is the current version of me, right? If I'm struggling to manifest, to leap into this version of who I need to be, I do all of these other things like numerology and whatnot. But then this past version of me that's unhealed or wounded or who feels that I'm no good, I have a belief that's pulling the current version of me back constantly. And that's why I'm not able to jump to this level. And that's why I had to get into hypnotherapy to stitch the story together, to make sure that, yeah, you know what, I'm doing all this for my luck, but hey, what about my mind? What about my willpower? What about my free will here? If I don't have a great mindset, and if I'm going to fear failure all the time, or I believe that I'm only going to fail if I try, or I believe that I'm unlucky, or I believe that I'm no good, or I procrastinate, or I don't have confidence, or I don't have, or I'm a people pleaser. All of these are like little chains anchoring you down to the past version of yourself.
mm,
And so when we go back there, it's like open tabs on your phone.
mm.
The like if you have an iPhone, you have to kill the app.
Yeah, you
You know,
have to
my
shut
kids
it
always
down.
tell me, look at how many open tabs you have, it's draining your battery. So that's exactly what trauma does to us, right? Like it just keeps all these tabs open in our mind, and we don't have energy to go to the next level because we haven't gone and like closed these chapters of our
Cleared it
life.
out. Cleared it out.
Yeah.
What do we go to a number 5 for? What another yeah.
Oh, they just so good at, you know, I mean, they have a mind of their own. So honestly, they're very good at like giving advice or like helping you, whatever. But they're on their own path. I'm not sure a number five is going to get into your business anyway.
Right, cool.
They're going to be on their own path. But yeah, if you had to choose like a business partner,
You pick a
and
number
if you
5.
pick a number five, but make sure that you're okay with that person doing whatever they want.
Be a
They're
bit
not going to
yeah,
listen to you.
bit more
If you want a
independent.
partner, yeah,
Yeah.
they don't do very well with listening to other people and saying, oh, you know what, you may have a point. They're going to do exactly what they want to do and they will excel at it.
Set them
So
up
if you,
and get out of their way.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a CEO for your business, or like, like someone who's running the show,
Mm.
get a number five. You only need to tell them the final goal. Like,
They'll
this is what I want. And then you get out of their face, you
and
get
they'll
out of their
run it
hair.
all the way
Yeah.
through to
And
the
they'll
end.
run it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. I have 2 numbers, as you said. I think I've got a number 6 and a number 7. So number 6, what's number 6 is
So a number six is ruled by Venus, the luckiest of all planets.
touch
Okay,
wood.
yeah, and Venus is connected to money, wealth, travel, all of the yummy things in life, luxury. Venus is also connected to aesthetics, looking good, clothes, glamour, all of that. So anything that's connected to beauty and aesthetics is Venus. So number six people excel at getting into anything glamour, television, acting, the film industry, creativity, food business, anything. So they either born in a lot of money or they marry into a lot of money, or at whatever point they just make a lot of money. They just make a lot of money. They're
Touch wood.
magnets for money, wealth, and luxury, and their life is very like they don't have that many karmic life lessons. They're meant to be connected to the material world and just live a luxurious or a very comfortable life. That's number six for you.
And some of the shadows of number 6 lives? Not too many.
Sometimes a number six can they're also very loyal. Like number six people are extremely loyal, family is very important to them, but sometimes they have a like they don't go very deep. So let's say if there's a certain problem that's happening, a number six will probably not want to go deeper, solve the problem. They may have an avoidant nature to like dealing with the messy things in life. And yeah, and they focus a lot on like the material part of what they need to
The
get,
external.
and sometimes they ignore some of the other stuff, and it depends on a lot of other factors again what they ignore, but they could ignore some parts of their life. But by and large, six people, I've seen so many number six people. um I don't think, like, unless you're like living with a number six, you would not understand what exactly are they imbalancing or ignoring.
Right.
But by and large, a number six on the outside is just living a very cushy life. And they're just very happy people. They just radiate a lot of that energy as well.
Touch wood.
And they also help a lot of people who come into their lives create more wealth. you
Okay.
know if they are creating, they are magnetic, they also do that for other people. They just have that energy of like, they just have that energy around them. So their friends, the people around them, they also like have that, they balance that out. So
Mm.
relationships are also part of that whole
Number
thing.
6 energy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. Another number that
and
I
and,
seem
and
to be
sometimes
close.
if a number six is
Oh,
paired with a
sorry.
malefic number,
Oh.
then they have those traits more. That's one of the shadows
Oh,
of a
it's like
number
an
six.
amplifier sort of in some ways.
Yeah, like let's say, for example, like a number seven is an overthinker.
Mm.
So as a number six person, your energy is exalted, right? It's really amazing. It's magnetic. It's pulsating. But being a number seven, that's causing some kitch kitch in relationships, or you're an overthinker, or you have to work too hard. So that it kind of takes away a lot of your energy from a number six. It kind of drains your number six Venus energy a whole lot.
So number 7 is ruled by what? planet?
Number 7 is ruled by Ketu.
South Node.
Ketu. So you have Rahu, Ketu. They are not actual planets, but they're like shadow
Points.
planets. Yeah.
Mm.
So number 7 is ruled by Ketu, and number 7 is a very spiritual number. So they are meant for being on a spiritual path. Like they just
Ah,
have foresight, insight. They are beyond a number 2. So a number 2 is, let's say, at the surface. A number 7 goes very, very deep.
didn't you say number 2s had boundaries problems? Like they were very spongy and soaky uppy?
Yes. They're very empathetic, so they'll absorb energy again from other people. So the other thing with number 7 is they end up having to work really hard. They have to put their heart and their soul into what they do, and like, let's say for a normal person, let's say if they put in 100 units of energy and they got like, an outcome of 150, a number 7 will put 150 units of energy and get like a 80 or a 90. So they have to work a little extra, and so they're very wired and they're used to working and putting in the hard work. They also go and try to like help a lot of people. They try to sort out problems. Like if they find, okay, there's some problem happening between these two people in my family, let me go and like sort it out. Or people at work, or two friends who are having an issue, they'll try to go and like make everything okay. But somehow in all of these relationship transactions, they end up getting misunderstood or becoming the bad guy. Not always,
Oh.
but sometimes.
Oh, no.
Sometimes. Do you think you relate to that?
Um, I do relate to the hard work part, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm a child of immigrant parents, so I've always put it down to that I've always seen hard work, so I've templated hard work, but it sounds very aligned. Um, I don't know, I've never questioned the yield of the hard work, I've just sort of
Mhm.
trusted in hard work though.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do see myself at times applying myself 150%. Touch wood, I can relate to that part. But in terms of whether the yields were only 80 or 100, I don't know, but maybe that's some of that 6 combination, I don't know, maybe you
Yeah.
can tell me more a little bit later on.
So sometimes because of the number 6, it tends to like override the number 7 struggle. And that's why, like, if a person has malefic numbers, like a 4, 7, 8, for sure I tell them, just don't even rethink or think whether I need to get numerology. You do it once in your life, get it fixed once and for all. It's like fixing your vibration once in your life. It's not like, it's not like when you when you keep changing your house, you have to keep redoing your feng shui,
Right,
or you have to keep redoing so many things in life. And we do so much for like, you know, so many things in our life. We spend on interiors, we spend on our clothes, we spend on our hair, we spend on our face, on our skin. We do so much to upgrade how we look. I tell people, please upgrade your energy, please invest in yourself, because you matter. Like, you are literally, on the driver's seat. So it's like, I think now people understand that it's fine to honor yourself, and it's fine to prioritize yourself and upgrade your energy, because yeah, you know what, if I feed myself, then maybe I'll be able to 10x whatever I'm doing. So yeah, sometimes number 7 people struggle with also getting like misunderstood, like I said, or also, becoming the bad guy, or generally they attract a little bit of conflict, and they struggle to like find the right partner in their life. Like, relationships are a little a little bit of a struggle for them. So they struggle with maintaining complete harmony in relationships, not because it's their fault or the other person's fault, but because it's the energy of that planet that's trying to cause like disruption in their life, in
right.
conjugal bliss, in friendships. So it'll always like put some kind of a misunderstanding energy between two people. So again, as a number 7, rise above it and say, okay, you know what? This is what's going on. This is a misunderstanding energy. We need to sort this out.
Right.
So sometimes your strong will and your determination, or your mindset, could overcome those pitfalls or those shadows of a number 7.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Number 8?
Number 8. Did I also say number 7s are overthinkers?
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They are classic overthinkers. Like, they top the charts on
Like
overthinking.
worry as well, or
Worry, thinking, did I say something fine? Did he say that? What did she mean if she said this? Like,
yeah,
I should have said this. Maybe
self-doubt,
I shouldn't have.
right,
Yeah, like,
self-critical. Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
They also could be very self-critical,
Mm,
number 7 people.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So number 8. So number 8 is ruled by Saturn, one of the luckiest and one of the 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 planets that make you also struggle. So number 8 is a very karmic number. You have to
Mm.
understand that number 8 is not all bad, but it really tests you. And people today don't want to be tested. So number 8 takes you through kind of like a, like a washer dryer cycle in your life,
Mm.
to teach you a lot of lessons, to kind of make you step up to another level. But a lot of people just get like succumb to the lessons and the fire of the test, and then they just, they succumb to it, and they feel like, okay, I failed.
It was
So
too
not
hard.
a number 8 person honestly needs to like rise above their learning lessons, their karmic lessons.
True to Saturn.
Yeah,
Saturn lessons.
they shouldn't just, look at it as failure or defeat. They just have a higher curriculum. It's like, school, you have like a state board, you have like a central board, you have like an IB board, you have a international board. You have all these different boards, and each board, the difficulty level is different, right? So you their curriculum is just a little different. It's
Right.
a it's a tougher curriculum, that's all. You just put yourself through um a tougher curriculum that's going to like squeeze you out and drain you out, and push you in different directions, trigger you, test your patience, test your resilience, test all attributes, and then it gives you success and money. And also number 8 people do have a very, again, they have this, they have a high yoke of wealth. So they also have one of the numbers who have a good chance of having a Raj Yoga. So number 8 people but get success and growth or whatever after a lot of struggle, and it really tests you. All of their relationships go through tests, but ultimately, if they have discipline, and if they follow a lot of the, like, honestly, they need a little bit of like spiritual guidance. A number 8 person should have a mentor, should consult maybe an astrologer or someone who understands planets deeply. I have someone on my team called Pranjal, and she's so brilliant. She does astrology, she does numerology, she does vastu, she connects all of these to planets, and she integrates all of this so beautifully. Like, I don't do vastu, which is the Indian system of feng shui, and it's so brilliant the way she ties everything together. And she's amazing. I'm so lucky to have her in my team. Number 8 people are also very authoritative and sometimes a little arrogant. They can come across a little arrogant or beaten down. I don't know, they're like extremes.
On one end or
Number
the
8
other
also
is what
have
I'm
a,
hearing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they have a very chaotic life, just like the number 8.
Yeah, I hear
They
the
kind of
breakdown
have
to
high
break
highs,
through a
low.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but also like a missing energy of Saturn in a numerology chart also makes a person not have financial stability and financial awareness. So they kind of dwindle a little bit when they don't have an element of Saturn in the chart.
Right.
Sometimes when Saturn is missing in someone's chart, it can affect their financial growth or their retention of wealth.
A bit like a financial backbone is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So that's also important. It's a tough number, but it's also essential for other people to have this energy in their chart.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 9, finally. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the, what was I studying in preparation for this? The chill day, and they said number 9 is too sacred to even use as a number or something. But different
Yeah.
modalities, different
Also, there are so
systems.
many systems of numerology. I don't
Yeah.
actually follow every bit of it. Like, I
Mm.
don't do the personal year numbers as much as Pranjal does it in my center.
Mhm.
Like, she follows, a little more because she does a lot more consults.
Mm.
I specialize more in the Raj Yoga, in the numerology name correction.
Yeah.
So we kind of have divided our zones
Mm.
so that we're able to like focus and do our part
Expertise.
effectively.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the number
Number
9
9.
is a very deep spiritual number. Their life purpose is something bigger than what you can fathom, I can fathom. Every number 9 is meant for something bigger. They come with that karmic, um, thing coded into them that they're meant for something bigger. Until they don't find their life purpose, a number 9 person is anxious, frustrated, angry, annoyed, and a number 9 can just burn within if they haven't found their calling. So a number 9 should channel their energy into doing something for people, for humanity. That's one part of their purpose. Like, I've seen so many number 9s so frustrated, like they're angry individuals. And people are like, you're supposed to be spiritual. Why are you like this? Like clients have come to me. And the wife is like, you're supposed to be spiritual. Sheelaa said you're spiritual. Why are you like a volcano going to burst? Because he's not found his calling. He's drying up and dying in his corporate job. So I've
Mm.
seen number nines who have followed their calling, followed their heart, and either started teaching or gotten to like some kind of therapy, you know, helping people, learning something and channeling that, doing it on the weekends, working for an NGO, getting into politics. Oh my God, they come back and they literally want to fall at my feet just because I said this one thing: go find your soul's purpose and do
Right.
that. Do it once a week, do it once a month. It does not matter. Do it in your free time. You don't have to change careers. You don't have to change lanes. If something is a soul's calling, you don't have to make it your bread and butter. You don't have
Mm.
to make that your career. You can just do it, like channel some part of your love energy and your passion energy. And they also run by passion. So it's very important for them to follow what their soul urges them to do. And it's so crazy, Amrit. I'm a number nine. My elder son is a number nine. My younger son is a number nine,
Oh
as
my
in life
god.
number nine. And like till you find, and it's not just you have one life or one sole purpose that may keep upgrading. Like, I'm on a path. I know that I followed my life's calling a long time ago. I was on radio for 18 years. Like, that was just great because that helped me channel, help so many people who I like. We did a call in show on radio 18 years. Like I'm a guest right now on your show, right?
Yeah.
Imagine I just went there as a guest one time
Mm.
and I just remained there for the longest time. They just didn't let me go. And, like I just became furniture there. And
Yeah.
when finally, when I moved to Dubai, they were like, yeah, I think, we should not do this show because people know you've moved to Dubai. Like in the end, I didn't even have an anchor anymore. They said, just do your own show. You've been here longer than anyone else. Just do your own thing. And I would just record my content and send it to them. And 18 long years I was on radio. So yeah. So at that point of time, I felt I was like really channeling my energy, and I was following my life purpose. I was doing this, doing that, and I was great. And then suddenly, after some time, again that feeling of like, what am I doing? Like a number nine will go through that many times in their life. They're following their soul's calling, and suddenly there's a pit in their stomach that's saying, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? I need to do something more. I need to do something more. I need to do that. Like their goal and their spiritual goal to do something for humanity or the world becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So some part of them is never satisfied. They're never going to be content with how how much big of an impact they're making. And I can say that's 100% true, like 100,000% true for myself, because even though I'm following my life's calling, I'm doing the work. I'm like, yeah, you know what? But I want to do it for like a million people. I want to do it for like, yeah, it never stops. It
Right.
just, it keeps upgrading, it keeps updating. So just
Okay.
when you think, like you've reached there, it's like, oh, you know what? There's a new upgrade now. Come
It's a
on,
lot of
update
drive
it.
here, is it? But it's also wise. Is this Mars? Is this ruled by Mars?
Mars, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why if people
Yeah.
And that's why if people don't follow their life calling, they burn from within because it's fiery. And that's why
Mm.
they have anger issues and they get frustrated. And also, number nine people, because they have this very high Mars energy, they need to exercise and sweat it out. Like exercising calms them down. Like today, before this podcast, I went to the gym because I had a long break. And I was like, oh my God, I just need to get back to the gym. I need to get back to the gym. And my husband was like, I think you're gonna be really tired. I said, no, I'm not gonna be tired. I'm gonna be great after working out. And for me, like that's like a requirement. I need to work out and then I feel sane.
Number
And
9.
also this is also true for people who like this burning within and anxious and irritable. This is also true for people who have a very high Mars energy in their chart. If you have a lot of like nine in your chart or a lot of Mars energy in your chart, you need to exercise. But the good part of having a lot of like having Mars in your chart is also being able to complete things. It gives you enough fuel to like make things happen, which is why a lot of the kids born after the year 2000 are just so like this Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They're just so blissed out. They don't have that fire in their belly. as a generation, if you look at them,
Yeah. They're
a lot
bowing
of
out
them
of
don't.
they're bowing out of, like, hard work, construction work, like yeah, I mean, I was working in construction before I became a podcaster. It was a problem. We couldn't find and attract young talent because no one wanted to work 60, 70-hour weeks. They were just like,
Yeah,
"I don't wanna be part of this industry." And I was like, "So who's
yeah.
gonna build?" "No one." "What?"
No one. Yeah, so they have like they're in a different world, and because and they're also very very they're overthinkers. They think too much. They get into their head because they have too much moon energy. So they have
Oh,
too
I
many
felt
mood
like they were
swings.
wiser. I was just like, they just knew something that we didn't, that life wasn't all about hard work. But yeah,
No, I
interesting,
think
they
I
got a
think as a
different energy.
generation, because they don't have a filter, they're true to themselves. They're not worried about what people will say. They're not worried about the optics. They're not here to please people. As a generation, that's what it's given them. And I think that also comes from the way they were parented, because they saw their parents functioning in a different way. Every generation tries to like not do what their parents' generation did.
Right.
Yeah,
Respond
like
to
as my generation, or like I'm not sure what generation you come from, but I'm Gen X. I'm actually a Zennial. It's at the cusp. Like they call like I'm born in 1979, so I'm a Zennial. That's what they call it. But Gen X is what I the generation I come from. Our parents, bless you, our parents came from a time where, there was just the level of parenting was, not a lot of praise, very hardcore parenting. There was like the rules are very different. We walked on eggshells with our parents, and now we walk on eggshells with our kids.
Wow.
I saw, like,
It's
I feel I call our generation the sandwich generation. We are so messed up, Amrit. Like we need therapy. My generation needs help, and I think you're also part of it. I think you're also
I'm
gonna
a
be
I'm a
a,
millennial, so yeah.
you're a millennial, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the millennial parenting style is. But
It's,
yeah, Gen X is like walking on eggshells with both generations, with
yeah,
parents and with
yeah,
kids. And we are overcompensating.
yeah.
We had tough parenting, tough rules, tough discipline. We got whacked when
Oh,
we.
I got whacked a lot.
Oh
Maybe
my
I'm same
god.
as you. I'm the cusp of Gen X and millennial, I think is sounds
Yeah,
very
I got I
familiar.
got whacked a lot. So, we overcompensate. We want to give our kids what we didn't get. We wish to be the parents we wish we had. And so I think we're spoiling our kids to a different level. I don't know what we are doing, honestly. People think like
The road, something about the road to hell being paved with best intentions or something is what. Touch wood,
oh
touch
god.
wood.
You have
Okay,
such an
so
infectious laugh. I love it.
thank you. Touch wood. Well, so 1 to 9, all these different energies, and it's surprising to hear that 9 numbers can encapsulate so much of an individual. And for those people that actually have heard this far and want to actually go and get a deeper reading and a deeper understanding, the best place for them to be able to do that, Sheila, is where?
Is they could find me on Instagram. I'm available on Instagram. They can just find me there. But maybe we can give you like a link that you can post in the description, so that they can get an analysis, a numerology chart analysis with my team. And once they get like that basic understanding of what's too much, what's too less, what do they need? Do they need a name correction? Do they need, I mean, is money their priority? Is activating a Rajyog their priority? Lots of people want that fertile ground, because a lot of times you have brilliant seeds in your life, you have brilliant ideas, and you just need that fertile ground to make it blow up and become magnanimous. So lots of people get a Rajyog correction, and suddenly they got a promotion, because their ability suddenly got
Unhindered.
yeah, it got the right energy to kind of make it grow.
You said there were some energies for July, energies for the year ahead. You said this was an interesting year. Lots of fire, lots of new beginnings. Yeah, yeah. Any advice for those people that are navigating this year?
Okay, let's start with number one. So number one have a mixed energy this year. Number ones have some kind of a malefic energy that's also going to cause a lot of conflict, a lot of chaos in their life, but they also have the gift of like heaven's luck. So whatever they are trying to do, they have the support from a higher dimension, from their ancestors. It's things are going to flow in a different way, because one, they have to deal with a lot of negativity, like a lot of kitch kitch with like maybe conflict with maybe people at the workplace, or disruption of some sort, or politics or backbiting. But they also have, like I said, this heaven's luck where they kind of supported this year. A very strong support energy is something that number one people are going through. Now, number two. Number two, people have a betrayal energy that's ruling them this year. Now, these are just like little snippets because this is according to the chart,
Mm,
right? This is going a little deeper into the energy of the whole year.
right.
And then every month has a different energy for
Flavor.
each number. But this is like the flavor of the whole year. It's just things that they should be cautious of.
Mm,
So number seven, people have a betrayal energy that they should be a little worried about. Um, Also, people who are staying in the southwest sector of their house. So
mm,
anyone whose bedroom is in the southwest need to be a little careful of betrayal energy.
right.
And what do they do for that? They could actually do a feng shui remedy, which is a blue elephant and rhinoceros. Okay, a blue elephant and rhinoceros will
In that
negate the
room,
effect.
in
Yeah,
the
in that
southwest
room.
corner.
Yeah, and it'll also help number two people. So they just basically need to be a little cautious of trusting people too much. They need to kind of be a little vigilant on, if they've given too much authority to someone, because the energy of betrayal is kind of ruling them this year till Feb of 2027, till the Chinese New Year. Now, number three people have wealth luck this year, like a jackpot of wealth luck. So if they will be so pleased to hear that they have a chance of making some big money. And number three people need to be a little worried or careful about not telling things that before they actually happen, and not dreaming too much, but actually focus on action oriented, like to work on discipline and action oriented stuff. They need to have a well balanced chart. I also suggest people who have certain good, especially if there's something really good in your chart, you should activate your Rajyog to get the best of it. Like for example, like I told you about your elements, right? You should wear red in order to realize and harness the potential of wealth that is there in your chart. By having that missing element, like, there are lots of times people who, like I said, on radio, I've done these sessions for people. They would have a missing element, and then there was this one guy. I told him to wear like a certain element, and then he got a job, and he was jobless for like 2 years. So yeah, and there are people who I've told, you have this blue missing in your thing, so you can wear a lot of blue. So they just started wearing blue jeans, a lot of blue jeans, more blue shirts, blue underwear, whatever. And blue was also their wealth element, so that was very important. So you have to have a little more of it. In your case, it's not your wealth element. Earth is your wealth element. So and if but once that happened, they suddenly went, like, money wise, they kind of went 5 steps ahead. Not just, they didn't jump one step, he jumped like 5 steps ahead. Like, the kind of business deal that this person cracked, a land deal that he cracked, was, like, that amount of money he had never ever seen before. It was just one deal, and it was not even like his forte. He was not even thinking about it. He just brokered two people's transaction, and he made like a killing on that. It was crazy. That story never left me. Then, so yeah, number three, people have insane level of wealth luck. Number four have a prosperity yoke this year. So generally, prosperity on all ends. So growth, prosperity, money. It's a little different from wealth. Wealth is only connected to, like, property or like money, but prosperity is everything. Is recognition, fame, abundance. Yeah, but also money. So they, and I do recommend number four people this year to get their Raj Yoga activated, because it'll help them harness that. And also to keep something like a money plant or bamboo in their southeast. So to activate the wood element in their southeast. They could also keep like a citrine rock in that sector to activate wealth luck. And for number three, I didn't mention something. In the east, they could keep like golden ingots or a citrine rock. They should keep something that symbolizes wealth.
Right, in the east.
Yeah, in the east. Now is number five. Number five is going through a victory yoke this year. Yeah, like they're going to get success. So if a number five person, victory yoga, as in, like, whatever they try to do, they will see success in that. They can be victorious in whatever they, like. The energy of victory is very powerful. It can take a person from a regular level to, like, a very high level, work wise, money wise, relationship wise, like,
Quantum leaps is what I'm
yeah,
hearing.
quantum
Mm.
leaps. Yeah. But what they need to do to activate that, they can keep like a victory horse, and they can keep something golden. It doesn't have to be like gold, but something golden in the center of their house. So the center of your house is basically your Brahmastan. So that needs to have exalted energy. They can keep like one small crystal, like maybe like a clear quartz crystal to amplify energy, or they could keep like a genuine, real organite pyramid. All right, in the center of the house. That's for number five. And again, I have to say that number five should activate their Rajyog, because if they don't have the Rajyog, they're not gonna relate to the energy of victory this year. A lot of times what happens is, if they don't have pieces of these puzzle, right, like the money yoga, like the wealth yoga, when they don't have certain elements and they're missing, then it looks like you're going to get a lot of wealth, but then you kind of miss the bus.
It's like a wave is coming, but you don't have a surfboard.
Actually, absolutely, that's the right example. You nailed it. Now is number, where are we? Six. Okay, number six, people should worry about their health this year. They should be a little cautious of health, so they should exercise, eat right. They could also keep an idol of medicine Buddha. It's not the regular Buddha, it's a blue idol. Usually it's a blue idol, and it has like a little pot with some plant inside. It's a very powerful one. Sometimes you get the medicine Buddha, it's like a board and it has like certain mantras on it. And usually these are consecrated. So medicine Buddha is very good. And also Wulu. It's a feng shui remedy, but it works wonders for the illness star. Wulu. Wulu. So, and they should activate the energy in the northwest, because the energy in the northwest is not very great. So they could also, in addition to keeping the medicine Buddha and all of this, they could also keep a Pishu. Now Pishu is like a celestial, it's one of the dragons, but the luckiest of all dragons. The luckiest of all dragons. Pishus are really powerful. They're so lucky. You could wear them. Like when someone is not able to grow professionally, when they wear a Pishu bracelet, they start to like see growth, because it brings in a lot of yang energy. It also activates their wealth luck. So, um, and the other quality of a Pishu, it's actually spelled Pixiu, but
Mm,
it's pronounced Pishu.
Bishu.
Yeah. So the Pishu bracelet, or the small idol or the big idol, whatever, it also has this ability to swallow ill luck. So let's say, for example, the number two person is has this betrayal element. They're keeping the rhinoceros and the elephant idol for betrayal, but they could also keep a Pishu there to swallow the energy of betrayal. Pishu, basically, it's a celestial animal and it doesn't have a bum. So it just swallows it and kind of keeps it in. And it also activates wealth luck. You should read about it. It's a Chinese thing, but they're really powerful, Pishu. Yeah. Pixiu. Seven should be a little cautious of having like fights, like quarrels or misunderstandings or kitch or like a battle of egos. Uh
Which is sounded like it's native to sevens. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So number sevens need to worry about that. So they can keep a feng shui remedy called a fireball in the west sector of the house.
Mm,
In the west.
mhm.
They could also keep a Pishu, because it swallows any kind of bad energy, star, whatever. So that's also good. Or they could keep a rose quartz rock in that sector, a tiny rose quartz rock, because that just and or also they could keep like an organite pyramid, which has rose quartz in it. All right, you actually don't get a good organite in India at all. Like you'll find a ton of them, but they're all fake. They put glitter, they put glass pieces in them. But in the US, you get very good. I'm not sure about Australia. In the US, you get really genuine, very good. Like people who make serious organite, they make it in the US. So the West, you should enhance the energy and also something to swallow the negativity. Then there's eight. Eight is the year for them is very good for relationships and finding a new partner, or
Mm.
very harmonious for love, for communion, for building relationships. It's very good for romance. Like this year is really good for also getting into a relationship, if they're yeah. And then number 9 again have two energies. um but mostly it's a little negative for number 9. They're going to have to be a little careful of a very harsh energy called tai sui that is directed towards them. So they need to have the pishu facing, like for example, let's say this is the end of the south of your house. Let's say this is the south. The pishu should be facing the wall, so it swallows the energy of tai sui. uh and all, yeah. And also, um yeah, just generally they should be worried about a little bit of conflict, depletion of energy, chaotic situations, up and down. So a pishu will just manage both. It'll activate your good energy and it swallows ill luck. And I would also suggest that, if any one of these numbers have any kind of a negative star, they should just wear a pishu bracelet. That helps. And that could come in any kind of combination. Like you could, like we make numerology bracelets and it has a picture in it. So for like a number 1 person, there's a mulank 1 bracelet. For a number 2 person, there's a mulank 2. So a person, like you're a number 7 and 6, you could wear a number 7 and 6 bracelet, and it has the pishu. So you could wear the plain one or you could wear the pishu one. Anything is fine. So sometimes when you wear, certain crystals, like every crystal has a certain quality to it, and I'm sure you know that. Um, but when you wear crystals with for a certain purpose and you program them, they become so powerful. And in addition to that, when you wear them with like certain symbols which have power, like runes or feng shui amulets, like with dragon or with pishu or with these rune symbols, they go to another level. Like, we actually have a ton of bracelets. I design everything myself, and I carefully like pick and choose which goes with which. So like I have a bracelet for like overthinking. And it's not just for overthinking, but it's also for like focus. It's also to like calm your mind if you have a very chaotic mind. It's also really good for like people who like to feel zen, like to feel that serene calmness in their mind so that they can create or
Designed for number 7s like me. That's
absolute
fantastic.
people who have something which is dipping their energy, especially like number 2, number 7, number 4, number 8 people should definitely wear something to shield their aura.
Mm.
And I tell a lot of people who have like something going on with their numerology, I tell them, wear a pishu because it will exalt your energy, activate your rajyo, so that you're able to, you know, exalt your energy and you can override the effect of those negative planets.
When you say Raj Yog, what does that actually mean?
So sometimes you have a period or it's like Raj Yog is like Raj, it's
Mm.
like king's love.
Rulership.
Yeah,
Rulership.
like a golden period. So we all have a Raj Yog in our astrology, which is a certain phase, which is comes for a certain period of number of years. And in your numerology, it's there in your chart. You either have it or you don't. Like I didn't have a Raj Yog for many, many years. And then I activated it, I think, in 2015 or 2016. I can't remember. I told you I went through quite a few name changes. And the only resistance for me was because I used the name Sheelaa S Bajaj or Sheelaa Bajaj S for some time because my dad's name starts with S. But I was not open to the idea of a random initial, especially M. So when I finally became okay with that, that's when I was able to activate my Raj Yoga. You need to activate it in your space and you need to activate it in your energy. So when we do this Raj Yoga activation for people, you're basically making the soil, the ground very fertile, so that when they actually embark on their journey of, whether it's business, whether it's their job, whether it's whatever, money comes to them with ease.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like I said, the seed has to be great. You can't have, a crappy seed and expect that to become a great fruit. Like I myself, like I've done numerology for my husband as well for a lot of his businesses. And there was this one company I remember, fabulous numerology, like a Rolls Royce engine or an aircraft engine. And I was just looking at the business plan and saying, what are you trying to do? Like, this is not great. This is not a great idea. But he was doing it with his friend at that point, and he was really passionate about it. I said, okay, fine, go ahead. And, Ja Simran ja, ji le apni zindagi. Like I'm always very encouraging of any dream that anyone wants to follow. And he that business plummeted, like it plummeted so badly. So I believe that it's not that I have a series of hit rates which are like 10 on 10 every time. I have lost as well. Like I have made mistakes, I have burnt my fingers, broken my nose with business as well, but I've also made big jackpots in life. I've also like gone from like this level to this level, and I do several things. Like I dabble in lots of different things. And like sometimes something will plummet, sometimes something will give me a 5x return of what I put in. So it's you then then you even out. You're like, okay, you know what? You lose some, you gain lots more. So it's fine.
Touch wood. Touch
Yeah.
wood. My goodness, Sheila. True to exactly how we started this podcast. I knew this was going to be a true treasure trove here today. How does one begin to thank you for your time?
This was so much fun. This was so much fun,
Thank you
Amrit.
for your time, but
Thank
honestly,
you.
today's
Thank you for this.
conversation, I have to say, stands on the shoulders of not just your life's work, but your entire being, your deep curiosities that you continue to explore. I'm so excited for what you come back with acupuncture for us.
No, I will not be doing that.
I know it's just for you, but still, it all informs the entire deal. My goodness.
Honestly, I want to say
Yes,
one more thing before we
we
end this.
close. Yeah.
Is yeah is I've been on this path of like of giving and seeking knowledge my entire life from when I was a teenager. That's how my journey started, out of curiosity. And through my journey I guided so many people, because I also like when I started out, right, I was just naturally getting so much information whilst just healing people, that I kind of felt I needed structure. And then I got into reading the tarot cards, and I followed a very different path. I didn't go the conventional the tarot cards. I studied and mastered the Zen tarot, which is a very different tarot deck, which is so powerful and so much so deep. And lots of people come and actually ask me, how does one start this journey? Lots of people ask me that question, and I felt like a lot of people who listen to these podcasts want to kind of be that force for someone else, because I believe, unlike maybe some teachers or some people who believe that I will not share my knowledge with anyone because I don't want another competitor. I believe that how many ever spiritual, therapists you have, or spiritual coaches you have on this planet, there are still too few. How many ever hypnotherapists you have, they're going to be still too few. And most times people don't know where to begin when they want to like, guide other people. So I tell people, start small, do a bunch of courses. And if this is something that calls out to you, be that force in someone's life. Because I believe that everyone is, and like it is this part I strongly believe in. As a reader, as a healer, there are going to be certain people that the universe are going to send to you, you know that are going to be aligned and feel like you're my person. There's going to be someone in a small little city talking in a different regional language who will learn it and who will cater to their community. They may not even resonate with who I am and on or what I'm saying. So every person, if you feel like that, if your soul is like kind of crying out to you saying, I want to do this, I want to like do something for humanity, like I want to guide people or get them out of like whatever. And it's really a soul's calling. It absolutely is. If that calls out to you, then start somewhere, learn healing, do something, do a few courses, see where you see where you find yourself. Incidentally, I also like would teach people how to read the tarot, but not just superficially. I would teach them like how to like be a phenomenal spiritual coach, not just read superficially and say, okay, ye hone wala hai, that's going to happen in your life, okay, do this, do that. It's not on the surface. So something that I recommend to everyone who are starting out their journey is, first do a few courses in healing and learn the Zen tarot. That's something that I teach extensively, and I've seen that is just the first part of someone's journey. They may not even use that as a modality, but they then get like
Well, it cracks them open too.
yeah, it sets them up for success to kind of find what is meant for them. Like, see, I don't read the tarot anymore. I don't read anymore. I have people who read it. I have my students. When people come and ask for a tarot session, I direct them to other people. And a lot of times I'll direct them to like really good students of mine. So, but that's something the world needs as well. They need good healers, they need hypnotherapists. So if whoever is watching, if you feel that fire within you saying that, what is my life, what am I doing in my life, learn a spiritual modality. Learn the Zen tarot, learn Reiki, learn hypnotherapy, learn whatever you resonate with. And just because one teacher didn't connect with you, don't ditch the whole thing.
Don't
Like,
write off the
find,
entire modality. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like learn it from someone else. Like, I learned it from so many different teachers before I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do a little self learning now.
Mm,
So
mm.
never give up, and you'll find your path. A
What I'm
lot of
hearing,
people actually, when they watch podcasts like this, they start their journey of being a spiritual guide, and I love that. Like, I so
touch
love
wood.
that. Yeah.
Touch
And you
wood.
must know, Amrit, that by having so many different guests on your show, you inspire so many people. So thank you for doing what you do. Thank you. I
Hey,
love
yo.
that. I just love it. You're in your way, you're just a lovely beacon of light, and you should continue doing what you're doing.
Touch wood. Thank you so much for your blessings. And yeah, on behalf of myself and the Inspired Evolution audience, thank you, yes, for your time and energy, but thank you so much for you. Thank you for you, Sheelaa.
Thank you, Amrit.
Appreciate you. You made it through to the end of another really incredible episode, touch wood. Thank you so much for your inspirations to evolve. It is such an honor to be your brother walking this path by your side. To all of you that are subscribed to the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everything you see around here, it's all powered and empowered by you championing this podcast. Costs you absolutely nothing. It's absolutely free. Hit the subscribe button below, and it supports love, positivity, and wisdom like this being spread through the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. It really goes such a long way. Cannot thank you enough. To all of you that haven't yet subscribed, please do take a moment. As I'm saying the word subscribe, the button below is lighting up in the colors in the Inspired Evolution. Please join the community, join the movement, spreading love, positivity, and wisdom like this around the planet together. Thank you so much in advance for your incredible support. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's completely free. Just hit that subscribe button. It helps power the entire movement. Thank you. Friendly reminder again, we have, if you're inspired by this content and you want to forge it into real connection, we have the Inspired Evolution Community Circle, the Circle online as well. You can check it out, inspiredevolution.com/circle if you feel the call for more community in this Aquarian time like this. And on screen now for you to dive in even deeper on your journey of the Inspired Evolution, the next best episode. So go on, take your pick and make your click. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you there.